Good morning. My name is Paul Ortiz. I'm the director of the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program and Associate Professor of History at the University of Florida. And I wanted to begin by welcoming everyone here to Uncovering Our History, workshops on genealogy, research, and oral history. Tell your story. This is such an important event, and I want to thank the organizers of this event for inviting us at UF Oral History to be a part of this wonderful program. It's very important. The backdrop for this, as you know, is Juneteenth. And to me, Juneteenth as a historical event speaks to the central importance of oral history and of family history and of word of mouth history. As you know, the origins of this event occur back in the day, the closing moments of the Civil War, the general emancipation, and the efforts of the slaveholding class in Texas, but not just in Texas, but in Florida and other places as well, to keep the word of emancipation from enslaved African Americans. And so how did African Americans communicate the fact that emancipation had actually occurred? Often not through the printed word, but through word of mouth, through one family member putting out the word on his or her plantation. So as we've seen very often in African American history, we cannot trust the folks in power. So often we have to talk to each other to get the word out, to get the truth out. Now, one of the things we're hoping that will come out of this event is your story. Everyone has a story to share. And over the past few years at the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program, we've been really privileged to work with wonderful people like Sherry Dupree, like Mr. Branton, like Tricia Hilliard-Nunn, wonderful historians who are working in Gainesville and beyond to really capture and catalog the oral histories of African Americans. Now, personally speaking, we're not working on a book right now. We're working simply on gathering, collecting, and preserving African American oral histories so that others will be able to come behind us and use these materials in their classrooms, in their documentary films, as an educational resource. And I can tell you again from personal experience as the director of the Oral History Program, our biggest end users of our oral histories are public school teachers. They call us on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily basis, and they say, Professor Ortiz, does your program have any information on African American history? Because we want to honor, we want to be able to teach this topic during, say, Black History Month, or perhaps the week of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And often what I've found out as an educator is that many counties in our state do not have the curriculum materials that they need to properly teach African American history. This is where we come in. This is where you come in. When you sit down with our interviewers, and I'm happy to say that Ryan Marini and Marna Weston, wonderfully experienced interviewers, graduate students are with us today to do this interview work. When you sit down to do the interview, you're not just giving your life story, your family history, but you're providing information that students will be able to learn from firsthand. And again, much of this information does not exist in our current history books today. You have an opportunity, we have an opportunity to try to set the record straight, but unless we provide examples of our own stories, we're really not going to be able to set the record straight. And it's interesting, what we've discovered over the past 2 to 3 years since we've been doing oral histories in African American communities is that everyone has a distinctive story. Everyone has a particular take. What does it mean to say that Gainesville or Alachua County was a major focal point of African American life? You know, what made this area distinctive? What made it unique? What makes your family unique? Everyone has a story to tell. Whether you reached a certain level of education, whether you worked a certain job, whether you had certain sets of experiences here in Florida or in Michigan or wherever you're coming from, everyone has a story to tell. we hope that you'll continue to work with people like Sherry, Mr. Branton, and others, because they're really doing the kind of work that's going to stand the test of time. What I often tell people that we're interviewing is people are going to listen and learn from your interview many, many years from now. You know, long after you and I pass, 50 to 60 to 100 years from now, people are going to go to this archive that we're creating to learn the history. But again, we can't get the story unless you're willing to sit down with us. And I want to tell you, really from the bottom of my heart, that your stories are safe with us. Today you're meeting Marna and Ryan. You'll get to know them. They're amazing students of history. They work really hard. Again, we cannot do it without you. So again, I want to thank the organizers of this event. I want us all to reflect on the importance of Juneteenth. And I want us to think about why it is that we celebrate a day which for many, or an event which for many years had been forgotten. You know, what is it about the time we live in now that makes Juneteenth so very important? Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful evening, and again, on behalf of the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program, welcome, and I hope that you'll decide to sit down with us a little later and give us your life history so that we can preserve it and promote it for future generations to come. Thank you.